Hi guys, today I've got to make, I've just had one of my customers, Mr PLD, you know you are mate, one of who's been round to collect his T-Rex and his Stealth, and I'm happy to confirm that he's really happy with his purchases, which is always nice, especially when they go out the way to come and pick them up. That's pleased me. He brought me some titanium, bless him, and some phosphor bronze washers and a few little bits, which was really nice too. So if you do watch this video, thanks mate. It was really nice to meet you in person. I always like to meet my customers. I'd love to be able to hand all my stuff over to my customers personally, but that's not always the case. There's a lot of, especially my multi-carriage, go over to the States. Today I have a customer from one of the forums I attend a lot, and I get a lot of work from, because I do an awful lot of bushcrafty stuff as well for the bushcrafters, obviously with leather, you know, as bushcrafter myself, you know, we love the leather. He wants an axe sheath for this one. Luckily I have this axe, as I do with a lot of the Granthurst Brooks. I don't think there's many I haven't got. I have the small forest, the mini, the wildlife, I think I've got another one as well, I can't think now. I bought all these axes in because I make a lot of sheaths for the bushcrafters for axe sheaths, and obviously it's a big bulky item. I've got a couple of other branded ones as well. You know, it's a lot really to send this out to me, to have a sheath made. And then I've got to send it back. It becomes quite costly with the postage for this type of stuff. So with me already having the axes, this is why I started to purchase them as I went along, because they're not cheap, especially the Granthurst Brooks ones, you know, as you all know, by any stretch. They're quite expensive, the axes. So I bought them as I went along, and it saves me with the return postage, putting it onto the prices, and it saves the customers having to send them out. So I can just literally make their sheaths and post them out for them. And I had this Husqvarna one, which I use a lot myself. It's always down there for the kindling, and I use the small forest axe a lot for the bigger stuff, and my splitting wool obviously to start off. And he wanted a Granthurst Brooks type sheath for this one, whereas excuse me, I just found an old one of mine. Oh, you can tell with the quality of this one that I made a long time ago. The holes are ginormous, and look, that was a sort of maker's mark I was fiddling about with. This is old now, but this is the type of one. I've got better ones up in the house. I just couldn't be bothered to go and get them and show you an old original. I love this thing, and as you can see, I've had this a long time, and it's probably, I think, one of the first or second things I ever made in leather. So I think it was the second, this was the second thing I ever made in leather. So it's got a, you know, you can tell here where I've hammered them on too much, and you know, it's got some real sentimental value for me, this. But this was the, I'm sure it is the second thing I ever made in leather. Was one of the things that started it all off. This was a sheath that I came up and designed for axes. Obviously they're a lot more refined and stuff now, but he didn't want it this style. He wants it just like a, I think I've got one up here somewhere, and this was another one I made after it actually. They started to get a little bit better. This was the third thing, so I started off with the axe type sheaths, and then the knife sheath. So these have got sentimental value to me, and I'll keep them for that reason. I could have dumped them in the bin, made real nice suave ones, but no, it's not about that. Just like when Mr Fidget from Dorset, ooh, a wasp, said about keeping the first knife I ever made, which I've done, and I'll never ever get rid of it. He wanted a Granthurst Brooks type axe sheath. I can't even remember what this is for. This thing, it's they're not the best sheaths that they come with, to be honest, but it's a sheath nonetheless. Oh, there's another one here. there we go. I think that's for the it's bloody terrible. I think that's for the small forest axe. Anyway, so that sort of shape with a strap around the back is what I'm getting at, I suppose. And so I've just sat down with a bit of cardboard, drawing and messing as I do. And this is the one. Whoops. I've made a lot of axe sheets over the years now. You know, they're in my album. I've made ones with just openings from the top, ones that just slip on the front, all shapes and sizes I've come up with. And normally when the axe comes, I'll look at the axe and then put the axe down like that and start designing. So what I've done is I've put the axe down, got me some cardboard and started to design this. And this is what I've come up with for this. Obviously it's going to have a strap around the back. And to be able to get the axe in, obviously you rock it. I'm going to do it the welting, so you rock it in, and then it'll. The way I'm going to put the welt in there, you rock it in like that, and then it'll just slip in like that, and then you'll put his strap round. Okay, so I'll bring you along for this, and we'll go from there. I've also got yours out today, Mr. Scott. This is a blank Dell sent me. Thank you, mate. I'll ground it out. And just went from his initial cuts and just brought it up, and I wanted to make this really slicey, so real nice and thin on the tip, and I'm going to use it as like a box opener and stuff. But this is, I've put a cord wrap on like this, Scott, so I know it's not the same as yours, but it's going to be similar. I know yours was just wrapped around and around. Thank you for the pictures, but I've just done it like this. Hopefully it will be the same. I'm dreading this one getting to you, to be honest, because these type of things with no bulk on them or nothing are deadly for leather, for getting retention. So, but I'm going to do it for you, and he wants a little cross draw, and I'm going to try and bring it right up to here, I think, because obviously I've got to put a couple of little straps on this as well, so he can use it as a cross draw. He's pushing it because the knife's thin, so the straps are going to have to be a bit longer than they need to be, really, but I'll do it. So that's in the works for today. So right, bit of leather, just grab some. Whoops. It's alright, I'm in the middle of moving all my shop around as well, and you know, I've just put the new drill press in at the back, and you know, all this is going indoors, so it's going to be a quite a Madden for me this year, to be honest. Just before I'm just going to pull a couple more. I've got quite a few multi-carries to do, so while I'm here, I'm just going to, before I start cutting into this, I'm just going to pull a couple more straps off. Couple more straps off it. I'll probably edit this bit out. You don't need to be seeing this, so I'll bring you back in a minute. If it's a bit smoky in here, it's not because I've been puffing on too many roll-ups. I've left the shop wood burner door open. I forgot, just releasing the heat, and one of the logs had caught fire, and it's all the smoke's in here and my eyes are stinging. Anyway, right, we'll do a little bit more, then I'm going to call it a day, 'cause it's getting late and it is Friday. So what we want to do now is find out how roughly we want our... Now, rule of thumb, there's no rule of thumb with how far you want to come in. You know, some people say 3mm, come in 3mm, you know, all that. I'll look at roughly, and I've always done this, of how wide how wide the welt's going to be. So we'll stick the sheath on like that. We'll open it up. Sorry. Okay. It had moved. Put our finger on like that. I know roughly there is where I'm going to have the retainer, which will act as a cantilever, to put the axe sheath away. So it will come in like this, but I'll straighten that out a little bit, probably be more like it'll be the other way. It'll be like that. See, so you'll come in like that with the axe. Actually it'll be a bit less than that. Let's have a little look. Come in like that, it'll touch that welt there, you'll rock it up and then it'll slip in. So that's roughly, you'll probably be a little bit smaller than that, the welt, probably be about there. You roughly want to be going in maybe a little tiny little bit more. About like that. You know, so you're sort of just halfway to the welt, or you know you don't want to be in right in here because your stitching is going to look daft. So we'll go with that. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Now I'll be doing this with a pricking iron. So I'll go all the way around. Now if you was going to be doing this drilling, then I'd recommend only doing the one side. And then coming back and doing the other side after. Because when you drill your holes, the chances of them lining up perfectly on the other side in your groove line, to be honest, are very, very slim. I mean, it is doable. I've done it. And the less leather you're dealing with, the more chance you've got of it working. But the more layers that you add to that particular item that you're doing, I personally have found the less chance of it lining up on the other side. So the less chance of lining that up on the other side becomes more and more apparent. Obviously the flatter the piece as well, if you're just putting two pieces on one another and you do it, then it limits that happening. But once you start stacking leather up and you start making welts like that, 6 pieces, 4 pieces, the chances of you drilling right through there and coming right outside into this line here, the chances of you drilling right through there and coming out bang in the middle of that line on the other side, in my personal experience, and I've made a few sheaths, it's not always the case. You'll find you'll get a few in, you'll get one that'll come out just outside the line, or one might come in just outside the line, obviously, because that has to be perfectly sit flat under the drill, perfectly straight, parallel, because if it doesn't and it's twisted that way or that way, obviously as the drill's perfectly straight up and down, as you go through there, if it's like that, it's going to come out there, that side. It's hard for me to explain. So basically go through one side first, then come back and try and sort out your holes the other side. This is why I do like using the pricking iron, because I can find them holes with the awl if I've got to. Anyway, right, so there's a line all the way around. Next job is a welt. Right, now I'll bring you back. I'll just find a piece of leather for this. Okay guys, right, we're back to the axe. Right, what we're going to do now is we'll look at putting this in, the welting. I don't know why these screens are green. Put the welt in, and we'll look at putting the strap on. So what we'll do now is I'll get some contact adhesive. At least now indoors my contact adhesive won't go solid and freeze up anymore, which is always a bonus. Actually we'll just mark the welt where we need to run the contact adhesive up to. You know all how I feel about overrun on the contact adhesive. So dark in here. I've just been speaking to her indoors, and I'm going to have to buy a gooseneck lamp to work with here, because it's just too dark for me to work in. I'm straining my eyes, and I've got an headache from it now, so I'm definitely going to have to sort out a lamp. So I'm used to working with daylight, see, down in the other shop. And then a big, you know, when it gets light, a big strip light up above. But obviously I can't put a strip light in one of the rooms in the house. Well, I could, but I don't think it'd go down very well. Okay. So, this side. Okay. We'll let that dry, and then we'll have to re-prick the holes, and it should be okay then. I'll wait till the glue dry and I'll bring you back. Alright guys, the card's about to go, so basically it's glued in now. I've set it. What I'm going to do now is just go through the existing holes. I'll do a couple, and then I'll bring you back, because you don't need to see me go through all the holes. What I'm going to do is plonk this down, and go through. Okay, I'll see you in a sec. Right guys, the card's about to go, so basically it's glued in now. I've set it. What I'm going to do now is just go through the existing holes. I'll do a couple, and then I'll bring you back, because you don't need to see me go through all the holes. What I'm going to do is plonk this down, and go through. Okay, I'll see you in a sec. This your glue ready. Right guys, as you can see, I've just stamped the holes through there. So what we'll do now is we'll take a freehand groover and we'll recess those. As it's, you know, nice to have real pretty stitching. nice and slanted and stuff, but I've always been of the opinion that I'm not really mad on my stitching. You know, like you see how deep my groove is there. You know, obviously, you know, I've gone through with a pricking iron, but I'm not really of the I'm not mad on, you know, just drawing. I mean, I do it sometimes, but certain things like this that are out in the field and real being used, I'd rather have the stitching just sitting below in a groove. It can only prolong. I know when you pull on the thread it pulls the stitching in, but it's never going to be pulled in as much as it is as if it's in a groove. And to me, what's more important is the customer getting longer life out of his item than the stitching looking lovely and slanted. And that's just me. I've always been that way with customer stuff. So what we'll do is we sew that on. Tiger thread as always. What is nice as well now is that I won't have to worry so much in here about my thread getting so dusty. It was in a drawer in my leather shop down there anyway, but excuse me, it'll stop a lot, especially the white thread will stop a lot cleaner and tidier indoors. Okay, so I'm just going to do the first couple of stitches and then I'll bring you back. I ain't going to bring you through all this. Okay guys, so what I'll do is I'll sew this up and I'll bring you back. Okay, hopefully the card doesn't go, so I've gone through all the holes, as you can see, through the existing holes that were already there from the back. Now I think the customer will watch this, because I told him I was doing this. So when you get the axe, mate, when you come to put this away, you take your sheath like that, you rock it in like that, there's plenty of clearance, you just rock it forward and it'll lock in then, even without the strap. Rock it back, rock it in, because if you try and put it just straight in, you're going to hit the welt. This is the way these type of sheaths work. So you've got double retention. Hope that makes sense, because you've got the retention from the welt, and you've got the retention from the strap too. Okay, so when you come to put it away, you just rock it in. It's that simple, you know, just slip it over. Okay, right, I'm hoping this doesn't go, but I think it's gonna. All we're gonna do, so I'm just cleaning up a bit of excess glue, is we're gonna put the axe in, take a little clamp, it's gonna go in a minute this, hold it on like that, put the strap where I need it to be, which is roughly about there, wrap it round. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll take our scratch awl, our stab awl, and we'll just mark through the existing holes of your strap where you want that to be. And what you'll have is your holes are there, so you can scratch that away then, and then you know that's where your strap's got to be seated. And then I'll go through those existing holes with the pricking iron through into that one, and then we'll sew it on. Okay, bye for now, Lee. Okay guys, that's sewn on now. So what we'll do now, obviously this is not put together yet, just take a little clamp again, push them two together like that, take our stable and excuse me, line them up so that they're sort of the same on both sides, you know, so that they're going in the same plane, you know, like, you see, that way and that way, you know, so you don't want it all down here because you'll be a bit, you know, a bit offset. Okay, take that, we'll roughly find out where we want our sand brown or popper, I've not decided, and it'll be about there. Mark it through, straight through the scrap and into the, it's there somewhere, so you've got your little mark, take your clamp off. It's alright, things are not in their proper places at the minute, so I'm just having to put stuff back, not really where I want them to be, but it is what it is at the minute. It will come right in the end. I'll be better when I go and get my lamp today. Okay, so now I've got to decide whether I want sand brown or a popper. I could go with a brass popper on this one, or do I go with the sand brown? I do love the sand browns. I think we're going to go with a brass sand brown. We'll go with an antique one, I think. Have a look. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Yeah, we'll go with the sand brown. So what we need to do now is cut a hole for the sand brown. Just gonna have to go there a minute. Okay, where are we? There. Quite hard to see. Okay. Punch a hole. Well guys, there we go. Just finishing the edge. Okay, that's our edge all done. Chamfered. Just the finishes and we're done. Right, okay, bye for now, Lee.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Gypsy woman told my mother, before I was born, say the boy child's coming, gonna be son of a gun.